Okay, so we've made a straight edge shape. We're going to have a look now at something using curves and bends. So we need our soaked withies for this one because they're more bendy, aren't they? Easier to bend than the withies that haven't been soaked. And I'm just going to start off making a basic rocket shape. So do you remember how we trimmed the ends off? The really sort of like curved bits that we didn't need, we can trim those off. Or you might find that they're useful for your shape, you decide. So I'm going to make a rocket shape. I want 5 withies cut to the same size. And so this time I'm just going to cut them all at once. I'm going to mark them with a pen. So you can do this when you're doing your straight edges as well. I'm just showing you a different way to do it on this one. So find the pen mark and snip. Pen mark and snip. There it is. Lost it that time. And of course, the idea is to show you these different things and you come up with your own ways of doing your own based on the things that I'm showing you. So I'm making a rocket ship, but you could do this to make a moon. Nice bent shapes. And if they're not quite bent into the right position, then you can bend them. Remember, because they're already soaked, they should be nice and easy to bend and shouldn't snap, but still be patient in case you don't want to do it too quickly like that. So I've got my rounded shapes there, and this is for a nice pointed rocket. We do the same as before. Forgot to get all my tape ready first. This is where having your partner is going to be brilliant, because one of you can be ripping up tape while one of you is joining, the old lollipops and things like that. Now, if you've got a tight bend like that, it can snap the gaffer tape. So you do your bend with the lollipop and then you just put another bit over the top to secure it. So when it's right angle corners like a square or a pyramid, it's okay, but when it's very tight, it can sometimes snap and you need to just make sure that you've covered it up so it's not going to fall to bits on you. And I'm just basically making a shape here. Now, if you were doing a moon, you could do this, joining several together at once at the top, like this idea, or you might start by making some circles, which I'll show you in a moment. But there's my point of my rocket. There we go, all done. And now we're going to be, more tape, yeah. And this time I'm splitting it because, do you remember how we do that bandaging? Round and round to make it really good and secure. And the thing is you don't want it all pinging apart. So it's worth doing. There we go. There's my size of my rocket. And just like I had a base on my pyramid, I need a base on my rocket. But this time it needs to be a circle. So bend your withies and make your circle shapes. Tape it up with the gaffer. Gaffer tape's great because it works on wet withies as well. If it is over wet, what you can do is I've put some wire into your box as well. So you can always put some wire wrapped around if it's too wet. But hopefully they were taken out this morning. There we go. And I make several circles to help me. I want one the same size, so I use that one as a guide. And remember, it's only rough. These shapes aren't supposed to be exactly perfect, but if you use the one you've already done as a guide, that will help. So sometimes you need to make your circles smaller, but again, you use the first one you've done as a guide to go, right, it needs to be slightly smaller than this one. But this time I need 2 roughly the same size, okay? So I'm going to start off by joining at the bottom. And it's exactly the same process with lollies on the end of the sticks. And what I might do is sort of bring this forward for you. Oh, more tape. You see, have your partner get things ready for you. Work together, be a team. I had to do this on my own. And it was tricky as well because it's really nice not just having other people to help rip tape with you. It's also nice to have other people to hold things while you're taping. So take it in turns to do that and help each other. So lollipop, wrap it round the circle. That's nice and secure. Round it goes. And then you just place your others on. And you just do it by eye. It doesn't have to be measured. You just do it by eye. So while I'm doing this, I think I might pop up a few designs for you to have a look at. So here we have a moon shape, and if you look at number 1, we just think about the basic flat moon. So you have a wider curve on the outside and a slightly shorter curve on the inside, and that will be your base. That will be your starting point there. You join at the top and bottom. Then you would add some circles, which are your supports. So there can be bases or supports, and then once you've got those joined on, top and bottom, you're then going to add on some more side pieces, and that's just a very simple exercise of cutting them to the size and joining them top and bottom, and then joining them onto the circles wherever they need to go there. And I'd probably do about 5 sticks going up like there. So there's a moon. That's a nice simple shape you can have a go at using circles. And you've got these bases and the supports or bases. So we've got like the pyramid idea we have there. We've got a square pyramid, or you can make a cube or a cuboid with that shape. Then we've got our circles, which I use at the base of the rocket. This is another useful shape. I'd call this like a teardrop or something like that. This is useful for if you've got to make loops, like say you were sculpting a love heart shape or something like that. You'd want to make these sort of loop shapes as your starting point, and then you would add in some circles and supports there, and then you'd put some withies in between. So all those shapes are really useful: squares, circles, triangles, teardrops. All of them will really help you build your shapes. So let's get back to my rocket ship, and I hope you've got some ideas. Okay, so I've just skipped ahead. I joined on the circles, and now I'm putting on my second circle. I just slide it down. I'm going to use some smaller bits of tape for this because I'm sort of wrapping it over one way and wrapping it over the next. It was a bit awkward, this, showing you on camera whilst holding it myself and things, so I didn't do the best job. You'll do much better. So a little bit of tape going one way, a little bit of tape going the other, just making those nice and secure. And you can see how this is already building up into our rocket shape now that we've got our second circle in. And it's to stop it all collapsing. That's why we're putting the circles in. It's to help it keep its shape. Remember, this is a skeleton, and what a skeleton does is the human body is it keeps the shape of the body. Well, it's the same thing. It's the skeleton keeping the shape of your lantern. So now we need a smaller circle, and we can use a thinner piece for this because it's a tighter circle. It's better to use a thinner bit. And again, we just shape that, little bit of bending, get our tape on. Oh, I've run out of tape again. Can you believe it? How many times is that going to happen? Lots of tape, lots of tape, lots of tape. Ready to go. And there we are. That's good and secure. Nice little circle. And we're ready to add that one on as well. Lovely. So that's going to slide in, and you just find where it fits. You know, sometimes it will go higher, sometimes lower, but you find where it fits. And we need some extra tape again. Oh, can you believe it? Sorry, you watching me rip up tape isn't exactly fun. But never mind, it's all done now. Okay, so we're going to put on our little circle there. So do you get the idea? You need to just think about your shapes. Think about the inside pieces. Sometimes it would be circles, sometimes it would be a loop shape or a teardrop shape. Perhaps it will be a square or a triangle. Those are your support structures. Then you need the long lines on the outside to form the actual shape. Okay, there we go. Last couple there, join those on. So I've no idea what shapes you've come up with. There we go, there's my basic shape of my rocket, which is fine, but I need to add a bit more to it. I'm going to add some sort of little sort of wings coming off of it like that, which would be quite nice. So I'm using the fact that it's quite a bent shape at the bottom of the withy already. Don't need to really bend it that much, just a little bit. That's it. Just get that nice bent shape, and I'm going to add that on. I'm going to add on my wings. So yeah, as I was saying, I don't know what shapes you've come up with. And you may change your mind. You may decide, actually, because I'm not in the room with you and can't help and advise you, we're just going by this video, you might say, do you know what? I think we should change our design. And that's fine. Designers change with their circumstances as that changes. That's okay. So you may decide, you know what, I think I'll build a rocket ship because I've seen how to do that. Or I may start off with a pyramid because I've seen how to do that. And that's fine. But you can also have a look at your design and think about those basic shapes, circles, squares, how we're joining it together, and see if you can work out your skeleton yourself. And if you can, then you can start building it. And it's all the same. No matter how complicated the shape, we've still got those lollipops in there, haven't we? There we go. I'm just putting in a base to stop those wings flapping. You don't want to have any bits of stick just sticking out. You need to have things joined together. Okay, and I'm just joining it using the frame there, using the circle. And that also helps it stay solid and rigid as well, the shape. You don't want all this collapsing and pinging in on itself before you've had the chance to put your paper on. So I'm just putting my bottom bases on. That's great. Now what I'm also going to do is I'm going to be sat by my phone. So if you've got any serious problems, if you've got something you've designed which is amazing and you can't quite work it out, then your teacher can send me a little photograph and I can speak on the phone to your teacher and give some advice. I'm happy to do that. I'd be much happier to come and play in your room with you and make them all with you. But you are brilliant. You'll work it out for yourselves. So it's a real challenge. And I've never done this before. I've just left a class to it. But I have every faith in you, Year 5. And you've got brilliant teachers. So see what you come up with. And remember, you're working on this in pairs. So 2 brains together, working something out. That will be fine. Last little bits there. And there I have my rocket. It's finished. Ready for the papering, which I'll show you tomorrow. So we've got our pyramid. We've got straight edges. We've got curved edges. And do you remember the star? You made this prototype of the star. Well, if you want to make a star, it's exactly the same. You cut 5 pieces the same size, 5 pieces for each side. And you make one side up and make the next side up, and then you weave them together. And then instead of matchsticks you have here, you need to cut your own sticks. So you just decide how big you want them. You cut them to size, and then you use the first one as your guide to make 5 more sticks, which you wedge between once you've joined them together. Now, you might want to watch the old video for that. You can go back and have a look. That's fine. Good luck, everybody. Can't wait to see what you come up with. Wish I could be there.